So good morning, and so welcome back to the City of Light temple here at the Conscious Portal headquarters in West Yorkshire on this very beautiful and sunny day. So this is a quick video specifically for teachers of the esoteric, the spiritual. I know some of these words are contentious, but yeah, those reaching out to share with others how they can expand their awareness, their consciousness. Recently, we've been in connection with hundreds of teachers of consciousness, and they seem to have a common challenge for the main part. As is often the case in any area of life, certain people always float to the surface. So if we took the music business, for example, in the 60s, it was people like the Beatles and the Rolling Stones and those sorts of people. But of course there were hundreds, if not thousands, of bands around the country playing in pubs and clubs that never even got to make a record. And of course the world of consciousness and teaching is similar. You know, a few people like Tolly or the Dalai Lama, for example, naturally float to the surface. But what of your message? How well are you doing at getting your message out to people? And perhaps more importantly, because we still obviously have our foot in the 3D camp, as I call it, but also we're obviously more looking to expand our own consciousness through our own teaching. That great saying, you always teach what you have to learn, always springs to mind. So the truth is, how do you monetize your spiritual gift? Because often it's the case that if we don't manage to do that, then we limit the ability to get our message to a greater audience. And this is the essence of what the Conscious Portal is about. So we decided to look at how we could help teachers en masse. And so we put together a series of trainings. Now these are going to be online on the Conscious Portal itself. And they are going to share with you, or we're going to share with you, that's Nima, the developer and inventor of the Conscious Portal, and myself, who's created many successful businesses in my time on this beautiful planet Earth. But we're going to share with you the 5 principles of monetizing your gift. And each weekday on a Wednesday evening at 7 o'clock for 6 weeks running, starting sometime in May. So if you do join in or wish to join up, we'll let you have all the intricate details. But sometime near probably the middle end of May, we will start every Wednesday night for 6 weeks and share some of the tools that you can use to monetize your gift. So I'm going to run through them very quickly so you know what they are, because we want people that feel interested in this or really want to get a great result to share their message with a wider audience. So number 1, we are going to actually share what the 5 principles are. And some of these include, how do you magnetize people towards you so that you can share your message? And also, how do you capture their leads? Because you need to capture their details. And how do you then nurture them from, just being interested in what it is you do to perhaps becoming a client for you, whatever that might look like, whether you have products, services, whether you do events, whether you have a book, it could be all manner of things. Whatever it is you want to share, workshops, it's sort of endless what we can do, the different ways that we can get our message out. So we're going to share with you the 5 principles on week 1. On week 2, we're going to teach you specifically how to magnetize people to your personal spiritual message, so that you can start to, as we call it, grow a list of interested people. We're then going to teach you on the next week exactly what's needed to support those people. In other words, to gather them all together. And then the next week is then specifically about nurturing them. Because the more you nurture them, nurturing is really about educating them. So no doubt your spiritual message is a message of education. Look, it's the message of spirituality for thousands of years. It's how can I share my knowledge and wisdom if you're using what you're preaching in some ways. Because I always argue that knowledge in its own right is, it's interesting. But knowledge without action, of course, is not very, well, it doesn't move you towards a more wisdom state because you haven't experienced it for yourself. So you're going to be less conscious if it just remains as information or knowledge in your head. So it's moving the action that you take that, of course, creates a more expanded consciousness. So we're going to be sharing with you how to nurture people through education to get them to really come more towards you so that you get to share your message. Now, then the magical part, which so many people struggle with, is how do you then turn these nurtured, more educated people into customers, so to speak, or clients, people that are going to share the flow of money, their money that they've worked hard for. Why would they share that with you, and what needs to happen for you to become their person that they go to for their spiritual help, advice, whatever words you want to put to it. You know what it's like in the 3D world. Many words are very contentious, of course, once you start to use them in a more expanded way. So excuse me if some of the words I use don't resonate with you, because in essence we need to meet people where they are, and some of the language that they use in that world is different to the language that we use in the more expanded world. And then, of course, there is one magic tool which I'm going to share on week 6 that is probably the most unknown or unused thing, certainly in the world of our type of teaching. It's used massively by Amazon. Amazon, of course, was part of the 1980s dot-com revolution, and today have become, the almost only survivor of that time, but have some phenomenal tools on their website which we can replicate. And the tool they use is, people that bought this also bought this. And this has got a name, a technical name in the world of marketing, which is called upselling. And upselling can very, very easily and quickly massively increase the expansion of you getting your message out by managing to sell more of what it is that you do. So we're going to be sharing and teaching you some of these things. So there you go. If this sounds in any way interesting to you, this 6-week course is in fact pretty valuable stuff. If you were to do this course, for example, in personal development, you'd be paying, £300, depending on who it was you were learning this from. Maybe even as much as £500 when you're learning with people that really understand this. And with Nima and myself, you've got 2 people that are really, you've only got to look at the Conscious Portal and go, okay, somebody who knew what they were doing were putting that together. And as we start to get that message out there more, you'll see by using it, because we're going to deliver it through it, what an amazing tool it is that you could actually use. Now, on top of that, we're going to give you a consultation. In other words, we're going to take a look at your specific way that you get your message out currently. So we call it a consultation. Normally takes about an hour. And again, if you were doing this with the top professional, you would be paying £300, £350 for someone to really evaluate where you are right now, what I call your A point. This is where I am, this is where I'd like to be, and so the diagnosis, as I often call it, or the consultation, works out our A point, and we can look, of course, quickly at where you'd like to be, and then we can talk about what it needs to happen to get you from A to B, so to speak. So we're going to give you that as well as part of this course. And on top of that, we're going to get you on the portal for free for 2 months. And that is worth about £60. So in all, this offer of this course is about £600-700 worth of value, in fact, involved. But because we live in the world of the esoteric, we're not really about the money. We're much more about getting the message out. But of course, like everyone, we have 3D bills coming through our door. So we are going to charge just £97 for this. So this is going to have some massive value to it. So if you join in, we're going to do our absolute utmost to educate you on some of these skills about monetizing your business. And we're going to look at your own business personally, either myself or Nima. And of course, we're going to get you on the portal so you start to be able to communicate with potential clients. So I trust that's of interest to you. If it is, then next to the video there's going to be a form to fill in to say, yes, I want to come. And, just click that button. You'll know what to do. You'll see it. Click that button and then we'll get into connection with you. So I'm looking forward to welcoming you. There are only 10 places on this thing because, doing 10 consultations is actually a lot of work for us. So we're limiting it to the people that are really putting their hands up going, do you know what, that's exactly what I need. And so, get to be the first one on there. It's a £97 investment and some of your time, but we will be giving you massive value for that so that we can see if we can help you and support and assist you to move towards your B point, which is to have a more spiritual teaching business that really works for you in terms of getting your message out there and rewarding you by monetizing it. So from me, Anthony John, here at the beautiful City of Light Temple, thank you for listening and look forward to connecting with you. Bye for now.